got to talk the talk, and you got to make it real. I had, for example, when I first came over to London to do the series Dempsey and Makepeace, I had changed the character before my arrival in my meetings with the producers and director, and said it would be more interesting for me if this character were a New York homicide detective up from the gutter, so that when he comes over and he's partnered up with this lady Harriet, so on and so forth, then you have a culture clash, which gives you more to play. And he'll try and tell her what Shakespeare was truly trying to say from the gutter point of view. They liked my approach to it, instead of the James Dempsey III originally written. But when I arrived, all the scripts had been previously written. There was no writing department. There was a room with the scripts piled up in a chair, and he said, that's the writing department. So I had nobody to discuss, to work it out with, and so I had to do the rewrites, basically, because he wasn't going to pay the writers any more money to do it. One day on set, a writer shows up who wrote that particular episode, and he says, you've missed a really great tool that I gave you. And I said, what was it? I said, I can't believe I missed it. He said, no, this is the key. This is something that becomes your catchphrase. This is, the whole thing, the jelly bean. I said, what was it? And he said, I reckon. I said, I'm sorry. He said, I reckon. I reckon. He said, yes, I put it in there several times, and I thought, that would be Dempsey's phrase. And I said, but Dempsey's a New York detective. He said, yeah. I said, people in New York don't say I reckon. He said, oh yeah, they do. I was in New York. I said, standing next to tourists from Texas. I said, people in New York figure. They figure. They don't reckon. I figure this, I figure that, but I don't reckon. I said, I noticed a lot of people in England do say I reckon. They use it as a catchphrase, but it's not real. And so, in that case, having the writer on board wasn't great. Other times, it's invaluable. It can be such a great tool if you've got somebody to actually source and go to and say, what would happen if, or how does he, and you get it, and then you're flying. It's a wonderful thing to happen. It's a rare thing.